24 hours to a day. So they tell you you're supposed to sleep what?
8 hours.
And so now you got how many left?
16.
And then you're supposed to work what?
8 hours.
And now you got what left?
8 hours.
You haven't cooked, you haven't got dressed, you haven't said hello to the children. Sleep deprivation, that's how they get you. Sleep deprivation, huh? You haven't watched TV, you haven't called your mother, your children. Sleep deprivation, it's right there. That's why the rich folks, you better not try to call their house after 8 o'clock at night. They sleep. You work midnight, what they call the midnight shift?
Graveyard shift.
Graveyard. What graveyard mean what?
Death. The cemetery.
Death. Okay. A cemetery. Why? 90 minutes after the sun go down, your brain get recharged. After midnight, the charging stops. If you're not home by midnight, you turn into a what? The nursery rhyme. Pumpkin.
Yeah.
What's the only part of your body? 24 hours. The number one cause of death in America is not homicide or drugs or suicide. The number one death in America is sleep deprivation.
Lack of sleep.
Sleep deprivation.
So how much sleep does the body require?
The universal order requires that you must be in bed 90 minutes after the sun go down to get the brain recharged after 12 midnight. You know the story of Cinderella? She's not back in the house by midnight, she turns into a pumpkin. After midnight...
Now when does the sun go down?
It changes. It goes down different every day.
What's the average time it goes down?
It varies. In the summertime, it goes down.
What about the wintertime now?
Well, in the wintertime, it's your shortest. In the wintertime, if the sun, let's say if the sun was down at 5:30, you got 90 minutes before you go to bed.
So they should be in bed
at 90 minutes.
By 7 o'clock.
When do bears hibernate? In the wintertime, right?
So you're saying that an individual should be in bed at least by 7 or 7:30?
It depends. Whenever the sun go down. And then you also got to put in daylight saving time.
Let's say the sun goes down here about 6 p.m.
All right, then you should be in bed by 8:30.
By 8:30?
Yes.
Okay, how many hours of sleep do you need once you're in that bed?
You need about 9 hours now.
9 hours every day?
Let me show you what happens. Let me show you what happens.
Okay.
At the first 90 minutes, your brain gets recharged, okay?
While you're in bed?
While you sleep. Your brain gets recharged.
So when you say in 9 hours, you mean sleeping?
Sleeping.
Not just lying in the bed?
Not just lying in the bed.
Okay.
Sleeping. The
All
brain
right.
gets recharged, and then after that, the body starts purifying and cleansing itself. If you went to the doctor and got a blood test today, okay? When I did a fast for 82 days in a hospital in New Orleans because I wanted scientific data to find out what happens to the human body during starvation. And I never understood out of all the blood they was taking out of me, the blood guy never showed up on time, and I loved it because I couldn't stand a needle. Except when I went to bed at night, okay, he was there right before I went to bed, and I got up every morning at 4 o'clock, and he was there. So I asked the guy, I said, man, why do Dracula be late all the time getting blood? And here's what he told me. When you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar, when you sleep at night, your blood sugar builds up. And you use that all day long. And they wanted to know when I wake up, you know, how high was my blood sugar? And they want to know when I go to bed at night, how low. They found out on a fast it never dips. Well, listen, let me tell you something about sleep deprivation, okay? On the Oprah Winfrey Show, there was an extreme case of sleep deprivation. See, here's what happened. When you go to sleep at night, after you get X amount of hours of sleep, a chemical is manufactured in the brain. Oh. Okay, you hear me? Mm-hmm. That's God's gift. Not to get that is the equivalent to running out of gas.
So it takes you 9 hours to get the complete.
Complete.
Get it complete.
Complete.
Let me raise this with. This is good.
But let me just finish, please.
Okay, yeah, please.
Extreme on the Oprah Winfrey Show of sleep deprivation. Every day, this guy's wife carries the child to preschool every day. He picks up the child every evening. But on Thursday, he has to take the child to school. So one Thursday, he goes to pick the child up, and he said, child haven't been here. So he calls his wife, Susan, I thought you was gonna, how come you didn't drop Mary off? Today's Thursday, sleep deprivation. He forgot the child was in the back of the car. He went to work, let the windows up, 106, the child is dead.
That's what happens?
Sleep deprivation. And the reason most folks is not wealthy and out of poverty, because in sleep deprivation, you make quick decisions.
So, what happens to someone, let's say, if they only get 4 or 5 hours of sleep? Some people tell you they don't need much sleep.
Yeah, wait.
I don't believe that, though. Hey,
There's
tell
a
us.
universal order
Uh-huh.
that put everything together. Okay? And the universal order will not change its laws